It's funny because there's lots of artworks on the places around where I live, like obviously commissioned works and whatnot, and I think the graffiti work is fantastic. It adds to it, it's always different. Sometimes though I hate that it gets ruined by some tags that get thrown on there that are not part of the original artwork, so that can be a little bit annoying. But yeah, I love it.
Graffiti, the aesthetics often seem to imply some kind of frustration. If you think of the word graph, right, and that's the slang term that there used to be for it. I do graph. And if you think about what that really is talking about, language, and it's talking about a unit of text or imagery or hieroglyphic or mark making that can communicate a message. It doesn't have to be legible, it's an image. And if you think about that type of graffiti and you look at it, you see it's trying to do two things. It's trying to say something literally with letters, but usually it gets overpowered by the visual impact of the whole collection of letters together.
For me, graffiti is just a lot more like pure in the sense of like expression, and also pure in the sense that it can't really be commissioned. So it's kind of maintained in a lot of ways. The kind of counterculture around it has stayed stronger than mural art, where like mural art has kind of been co-opted by like local councils and property developers. Graffiti's kind of sometimes, like advertising companies will always try and like jump on the popularity of graffiti or whatever, but graffiti's been more successful at staying as a youth subculture, I would say.
And this type of street art, this is the street art that a lot of people instinctively respond to with disgust, but also attraction, because there's something deeply human going on there that we all recognize, because isn't it puzzling that this funny style of writing, if you just don't think of it as graffiti and you think of it as writing, you think, what's the message?
I mean, I think like the public-facing access is the big thing, and like landmarking, kind of, it creates a spot for people to go and look and appreciate art that isn't just like in a gallery or maybe online. If for online artists and stuff, it's actually like a place that kind of connects and interacts a bit more with the world at large.
What defines vandalism and art is like sort of the intention behind it. But obviously it's kind of hard to know the intention behind the piece without, knowing the artist. But I feel like when you look at such like a beautiful piece at least, you can understand that it was done with a good intention. So I feel like that's what sort of separates it.
Like here, I find it probably more like artistic. And then I find it depends on where you put it, right?
There should be more of it. Like it does bring people who like that kind of artwork and like seeing that, like even, I know it's not graffiti as such, but the poles being done in the pride colours, like people come to Camperdown Park to see that.
It's nice to have these artists be, pushed into actual work and have like sort of like a platform where they can express themselves. I feel like that's the most important thing. What's the point of being an artist if you can't express yourself, So I feel like, it's a very important thing, and at least where I'm from, it's everywhere, So it's lovely to see.
The Situationists wrote about this in their manifesto. It's a process called recuperation. that happens to all countercultures within a capitalist system, and that's once something becomes popular and cool and sellable, advertising companies, governments start to like reclaim it, take it over, and corporatize it, and then it kind of dies as a counterculture or a subculture. Yeah, it's kind of the inevitable cycle of art, really. I think it's, if it does die out a little bit, it'll be healthy, because there's always kids that do graffiti, and it'll always be able to start again or start afresh or kind of recycle itself in some way,
You could say graffiti is just doodling, because it seems to tap into a graphic need that our brains have to make marks that connect and create a unity and a whole.
I also think that it's like any type of art can be valid. There's no really right way or wrong way to make work either. Like, I love a lot of realist painters. I love abstract artists. I love like naive artists. I like people that draw like little kids, I like outsider art. It's just like everything has its own personality, and for me, it's more about if the personality of the artist is able to shine through a little bit. That's interesting, and that can happen in any way,
And graffiti art, that's its real significance to me, like street art. That's its real significance. It's an expression of a deeply human need for pattern recognition and meaning.